Hey Gemini, welcome to Natural Mystic Messages. This will be your weekly February reading. Let's all have a cheer for February. It felt like it was never going to come. Now this will be for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and of course Venus, because we love to love here at Natural Mystic. Now, we know the rules. Time is fluid, energy is interchangeable, all that fun stuff. I'm not going to bore you with it. Now, first off, we will be drawing from the Everyday Enchantment Tarot. I will leave the names down below. We have the Empress. I'm getting a real sense of home here, and that for a while you may have felt like home was a place where you kept your stuff. This could be metaphorical. This could be you didn't feel at home inside yourself. Maybe you were denying parts of yourself that needed healing. Maybe it's denying parts of your shadow. And then we have the Ace of Coins, and this is something you're physically working on at the moment, feeling at home inside your own skin and feeling at home inside your shadows. You may also be taking down walls that you have set up for yourself for protection over time. You may be connecting in with other people. You may also, as well as connecting in with other people in the physical, you may be opening up a lot more telepathically, and you may be communicating with people that you don't necessarily communicate with through mouth. Sorry, it's coming in. I'm trying to relay it. Just 1 second. So what I'm getting from that is you may work with people that you don't normally conversate with. You might see someone at lunch every day. There is people in your environment that you don't have direct communication with. You may not be on a friend level, but for some reason you're starting to pick up on them telepathically, and it may be that they're awakening or needing your guidance, or you have some sort of a soul connection to them. It doesn't necessarily have to even be a romantic soul connection to them. It's that you have some sort of a soul link to them. Maybe you're from the same tribe or something like that. Next up, we have Nine of Cups. You may be finding social situations a little overwhelming if you're opening up telepathically at the moment. You may also just have a lot of celebrations going on. You may be finding yourself in more of a social butterfly state when you previously weren't. That could be the uncomfortableness in your skin. You may be finding yourself having to deal with people more than you have in the past. King of Cups. Okay. I'm getting the need to build the dream that we're sold when we're little kids, of a white picket fence and 2.3 children and a dog and all those beautiful things that go along with it. And I feel like maybe for a lot of you, you've been working towards this dream for so long that you never really sat back and assessed if that's actually what you're looking for a lot in life, and if that's still your dream, or if this was the narrative of somebody else. Sometimes we make a dream when we're 10, 15, 20, and we spend our whole time working towards this dream, and we never actually wonder if we're that same person anymore. And do we still owe that dream the same amount of attention or thoughts that we're giving it? Do we still want it? Do we owe that person who we are in the past the same energy, the energy that we're giving it? Or are we a different person, and do we want another dream now? Who are we today? And especially if a lot of you have been through a wake up, maybe either it's time to sort of sit back and think, do I still want the same things I wanted before I came into this new person? Or am I looking to achieve different things in life? Like, what is it that will feed my soul? On that, we have the Ace of Cups, which is new love, but it's also filling your own cup and making sure that you have resources to give to other people as well. So what that could be saying is, in chasing this dream, you may have put yourself on the sideline. You may have given your energy to this dream and self-sacrificed and put other people's needs first and grown their careers, or helped people get to where they needed to be in the hope that you would one day get to where you need to be, instead of putting your needs first. So sort of lifting others in the hope that you'll lift up with them, if that makes sense. I don't know if I'm translating this correctly. But Spirit's saying it's now time for you to get really serious about what you want and write it down, and energetically connect to what you're writing down. So if you write down, for instance, and I pick up a pen, I don't know because I'm so literal. If you write down, I want to get married and have children, and take a second to sit in that energy and see if that's still the dream you want. If you write down, I want to be CEO of my company, because that's where you were when you first started your job and you've been working so hard towards it, make sure you still want that. Make sure that's still relevant for you. Or are you just trying to get there because you almost don't want to let yourself down, but at the same time you might be letting yourself down because it's not your dream? This could also be new love coming in. And maybe it's new love coming in, and that's why you're taking this wall down, or trying to take this wall down, because you're now at a place where you're allowing someone in. Because maybe it isn't that you're so focused on your dreams. Maybe for so long you've been focused on your past hurt, and now you want to let that wall down and allow somebody in, and allow somebody to love you, and allow yourself to receive. Now the next card out we have is the Tower, and I did see this when I was shuffling it, but I wasn't paying any attention to this energy, because look, the Tower is my favourite card. I'm going to be perfectly honest. I love the Tower. I love change. I love moving forward. I love growth. I'm a growth junkie. But for a lot of people, change is very uncomfortable, and I get why. I get why, especially if you're actually not too unhappy with where you are. And not that I'm saying I'm ever unhappy. I just love to see what's coming next. It's funny because in this Tower card, I'm seeing these bricks falling. And then I'm equating it, words, with these bricks here. And I think what happened is, the last time you were in a relationship, the last time you got hurt so bad, when these bricks fell, you picked them up and you built yourself the biggest mother effing wall. And it's kept everyone out since. And it's funny because what I'm hearing is, while this wall's there, you're still pushing towards this dream of, I want another person, I want a relationship, and I want the happy family, and I want these things. But at the same time, you were going out and looking for it behind a wall and nobody could see you. So it's almost like you were self-sabotaging yourself without realizing it, because while you wanted it and while that dream was so important to you, it was scary as heck. And Spirit's saying, brick by brick, don't overwhelm yourself, but start taking down these walls, because when this new person comes in, you want them to be able to see you. And I'm hearing that there has been a constant in relationships or dating that you're not being seen and you couldn't figure out why. Spirit's saying, and I hope I'm not being too blunt with you, I am very heavy Sagittarius, so I try my hardest not to be so blunt. You weren't being seen because you weren't showing yourself. Now, I know that a lot of you are sitting there probably telling me to F off, and that you were showing yourself and you were showing up, but I think you were hiding your vulnerability, and you've got every right to, and don't worry, I did this stuff too. This isn't me judging you in the slightest. But Spirit's saying it's safe to take that wall down now. You're not going to learn your lessons the way you did in relationships before. This is a new era for you to have relationships that bring joy and love and fulfillment, rather than lessons and pain and tragedy and trauma. When you're moving past that cycle now, it's safe to love again. Okay, we're going to go 2 more. Nope, nice try, Spirit. That's too many. I'm going to go 2 more. Spirit saying that person that you imagine exists. They exist. And the reason, the proof of that is because you're imagining them. Like, if you can think it, it exists. Like that's a thing. If you can think it, it exists. So if you're energetically feeling a type of person that you want, someone who's caring, someone who sees you, someone who listens, someone who reciprocates, that person exists. And the reason you're energetically feeling them is because you're literally energetically feeling them. You're feeling that person's actual literal energy. That person is out there and waiting to come to you. You will be able to attract them back when your wall comes down. Your energy will match theirs, and you'll be able to recognize each other when that wall comes down. I'm hearing they had to go through their own battles and traumas and healing, and as I say that, we have the 9 of Wands. They've been through the wars too, and it's made them a more compassionate, caring, understanding person. Wow, 4 of Wands. They want the same life you do. They want that happily ever after. And it's something, it's funny, and this is how I think you'll recognize them. It's something you're both so passionate about. You're both so passionate about the about family, and so now that makes sense why Spirit wanted you to write that down. I was like, why is this message taking a turn? It was because of the wall, to understand that you want it, but you're stopping yourself from getting it. Not necessarily in the sense of, oh, you've ran everyone off and now you've wasted your opportunity. Definitely not, and don't think that way. It's more in the sense of this person couldn't come into you until you were at a space where you were able to let that wall down. We attract what we put out. So this person sort of wasn't allowed to show up in your atmosphere until you were ready to take that wall down. And don't stress that you have to get it all down for them to come in. Just make the conscious effort to do it, and it will start to unfold by itself, and this person will come in and help you do that. And that's what I mean. You're both so passionate about the same thing. This is the King of Wands. But this is a mature, passionate energy. This isn't the type of relationship that's so passionate that it ends up being traumatic, or like the type of relationship where you burn everything to the ground because there's just so much passion and chaos going on. This is like a united front towards wanting the same thing and the same effort to work towards it. Okay. Now this person, like the King of Cups, like look at him. He's there with his lab and his 2 children, and he's having fun with them, and it's just the feeling of unadulterated joy, and the joy that this person gets from their family and from their loved ones. While this person works hard and does all those type of things, it's not where they find their joy. That they know that's just their vocation, and they go to work and they earn money, and while they do have some fulfillment from it, they know where true happiness lies. Okay, on that note, we are going to clarify. Now, I don't know the name of this deck offhand, but I will link it below. Holly something. Anyway, let's not try and jog my ever fading memory. Okay. Oh, Gemini. Now, if this is resonating for you, please hit the like button, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and we'll get back on with the reading. Wheel of Fortune. This is, and it means a couple of things, but for this reading, I'm hearing karmic debt has been paid. And I don't mean like all the bad things you did, you've now paid it back for. I mean what it was that you came here to learn in relationships. And I'm going to stop waving that and show you the card. What it is that you came to learn here in relationships has been learned. So these lessons are going to, and that's what I said earlier, they're going to stop playing out. You're going to stop playing out these looped lessons in relationships. You've decided that's done. And that's why writing this stuff down and writing what you want is super important, putting that intention out there. And while you're putting that intention out there of your dreams and letting that sit with you, put the intention that your next relationship won't be to learn lessons. Your next relationship will be to fulfill you. And in saying that, we have the King of Pentacles. Now, if you've had someone who's kind of in the past, if you've had relationships that are very on and off and not knowing where you stand, and the type of person that sort of dangles a carrot in front of you and you're like, oh, I think they like me, or I think that this is going to go somewhere, and then they pull back, and then you're sort of in this push and pull dynamic. This person isn't like that. The King of Pentacles is someone who's going to make you a stable offer, someone who is very, they've got a lot of conviction in the words they say, and they don't say words for the sake of saying them. Their actions also match their words too, which is a big deal, because a lot of people, while they may have conviction in what they say, they won't say anything. They'll let their actions sort of dangle a carrot in front of you, and you'll be forever confused. This person, this man or this woman, they don't play that game. They're very upfront about how they feel, and they're not interested in playing games either, because they're tired of being messed around too. Like I said here, and if you have a look, he's been through the war. This person that's coming in has played these games, has been in these positions, and they don't want to be in it anymore. It's so interesting. I just noticed that there's an energy drink down here. I never noticed that before. It's really irrelevant, but that's funny. And then we have the Hierophant. Now, this person might be a little traditional, and marriage might be something that's very important for them if they're going to live with a partner. It might be important to you. It might be important for both of you if you're going to get to a stage where you're living together, that there is something more concrete because of these games in the past. It might be something that keeps you both feeling secure in the relationship, because you have both been down such rocky paths of the past. Okay. I want to go back to this Four of Swords. This is healing. I don't know why I thought it was the Four of Wands before. The Four of Blades is a stillness while you reflect on everything you've been through. Wow. Okay. So it's clarified with the Four of Swords. And I think that's Spirit's way of saying, don't mess this up again. Get the card right. It's definitely this one. And it's also clarified with the Mother of Wands and the Father of Swords. And I think this is the dynamic that will play out. This person's very pragmatic and very logical and very smart and witty. And this other person, so put the energy where it goes, this Mother of Wands is very receptive and intuitive and passionate and spiritual. it's almost like the Dharma and Greg type of situation, but it's that we're so opposite that we bring out the best in each other. That's definitely what I'm feeling from this. Oh, we're already at 20 minutes, Gemini. Okay, we're going to do some shuffling of these oracles, which I never know the name of. I'm trying to look at my shelf if you're wondering what I'm doing. I'll put it down below. We have Transcendence. Lift up from your firm foundation now. You are ready to be rebirthed into a gorgeous, prosperous honeybee. And it's so funny. I was looking at this card earlier and I wasn't hearing a message for it. But I was looking at this bee here. And now the message has come with the honeybee. So bees might be something prevalent for you. What I was getting from it was that hive mind, that connecting into people. When I was saying earlier that you may be telepathically connecting with people. You may be going out and being more social. Definitely getting telepathy. So you may be walking down the street thinking, is that my thought? Am I really thinking that? Like, no, this isn't my thoughts. I feel like you're so open at the moment to other people and their thoughts, which is, I remember when a few years back mine opened up like heaps, and I'd be standing in the line at the service station, or I'd be in the line at Target, and I'd be hearing the thoughts of the people behind me. It was so, like, it made me blush because I felt like I was invading their privacy, and I didn't really know what to do with it, and it was interesting. It was an interesting journey. So good luck with that. No, it does get better, and you do get used to it, and you do learn to shut it down a bit. Okay. Now I don't know if I mentioned the joys of channeling. You don't actually remember what you're saying most of the time. If I didn't mention it, I do have videos down below, or there's a playlist of like psychic development, and it's a really easy way to know when you're connecting and how you're connecting and what type of gift you have. So just go check those out if you're starting to open up, or you have and you're not really sure how it all works. Then we have property investment. It's a good time to look at a property investment, or even a trust or a share establishment. Now, when I was getting that information from home, that someone may be looking at buying a home, or that is something coming into your future. So I think that's just Spirit's way of saying there may be a move. You're going to be moving to a place that feels a lot like home, even though this says investment. And your money habits are going to change. You're going to start looking at money in a more with longevity rather than budgeting for the next month. You'll be starting to budget for the next 5 years, 10 years, that type of thing. All right, Gemini, I'm going to do a call out one more time. Please like the video and subscribe. Send it to anyone who it may resonate with, and I will see you all again next week.